Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our virtual conversations day. As part of our 50th anniversary, the theme today is honoring the past, inspiring the future. And if those photographs didn't inspire you, I don't know what did. That was quite remarkable, seeing the history of Camosun in a slideshow like that. It kind of choked me up. When we think about the past and the 50 years, we think about our 65,000 plus alumni that are living all over the world. And our fabulous MC for today is one of those people. Michaela Pereira is an alumna of 3 generations of Camosun. You'll hear a little bit more about her 3 generations story coming up later in the program, but I have the distinct pleasure to tell you a little bit about her. So Michaela has called Southern California for the past 17 years home, but it was actually right here in Victoria where she got her start. Her first job was in 1993 with Czech TV as the host of an afternoon show called Check Around with Gord Tupper. A lot of us would remember that. She also co-hosted a weekly entertainment show and did the weather on the noon news. From there, it was off to San Francisco in 1998 to join ZDTV, a national cable channel. And then she moved to Southern California and spent 9 years as part of KTLA Morning News. Her next stop was to New York City, where she co-anchored CNN's morning show, New Day. After a 3-year stint there, Michaela returned to Los Angeles, where she had her own national TV show, the sister station from CNN, called HLN. She now anchors Good Day LA, a 3-hour TV news and information broadcast. And we're so fortunate to have her here. Not a lot about what she has done for a living, but she is the most amazing woman. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun with her this afternoon. She's also a really big family person. Pre-pandemic, she spent a fair bit of time traveling back and forth to British Columbia to visit family members. She's an adoptee, as are numerous sisters of hers. And because of that, Michaela is active in community organizations that serve vulnerable youth. Michaela is also a proud member of the National Association of Black Journalists. I turn it over to our fabulous host, Michaela.
That is the best introduction a girl could ask. And, you know, the crowd's going wild in my apartment here. I don't know, you can hear them.
Back here too.
Sherry, I have to tell you, I just have to have a little girlfriend moment. It just feels like we've become fast friends over the time that we've been planning for this Conversations Day. So I just want to thank you so much for the warm welcome, for making me feel such an integral part of today, and allowing me to be here. It's such a privilege, all these miles away, and yet I still feel very, very, very connected to Vancouver Island and to Camosun and to British Columbia. It gives me great pride. The 2 things you'll find out about me within 5 minutes of talking to me is that I'm a proud Canadian and I'm a proud adoptee, and you found out both of those. So Sherry, thank you so much. Really a delight, you guys, to be with you from all these miles away. I'm very much a proud alum of Camosun College, and it really is, it's a delight. I'm tickled pink, and to be hosting this celebration and this conversation around the college's 50th anniversary. By the way, that's something we have in common. I'm also 50 and Camosun is 50. We look good, let me just say. Before we get things underway, we've got a lot planned for you in this next little while. We want to play a video featuring Elder Skip Dick and his brother Elder Butch Dick from the song He's First Nation. Skip is going to provide a welcome for us, and Butch is going to then share a story of Camosun.
Good day, my friends. My name is Lachichilach, a name that was given to me by my family, so I know my land and my family, and I know where I belong. But I really want to extend my appreciation to the folks that are here, and want to say on behalf of our community, it's the Lakwanga people, welcome to our community, Haishka, and have a real good day, Haishka.
So Haishka, thank you for the invitation to Camosun, to do this. No asiam nus jelacha, asiam nus walakwa, haishwa kwansana techa lakwangan tanuk. Asa yukwelipton, chilea san lakwagan. Good morning, or Iquachale, friends and family. My name is Butch Dick. My First Nation name is Yukwelipton, and I come from Lakwangan land. So I was asked today to talk about Camosun and the origin of the name. And if you know history, the original name for Fort Victoria was Camosun or Camosac, and that was back in 1843. But the story originated on the gorge, and there's a place of ebbing waters or changing waters. That was a very spiritual place for our people. And if you lost what we call Sali, your spirit, then you would go to that place and ask the Creator to give it back. So there's a lot of, I guess, history along that gorge for us as a family. And we have a character in our culture named Kals. Kals is the creator. He's I can't say he's a person because, he's I guess what they call it nowadays, a shapeshifter. He can be anything or anybody that he wants to be. And one of his favorite things is to change people into things if you get on his wrong side. So the story Camosun was a granddaughter's name, and the grandfather was Camosun, which means the diver. And they were walking along the gorge at one time through the trails that were once there. And when they got to the place where Changing Waters was, the granddaughter said she was hungry and she wanted some food. And Gales, just happened along to hear that. And the grandfather didn't know what to do, but Gales offered to help. And he started offering the granddaughter different types of food. First was a fish from the Fraser River that he offered the daughter, and she refused it. She didn't want that. And then he offered some cranberries to the daughter, and she didn't want that. And by then, Gales was getting very frustrated that the daughter wouldn't settle for any of the things that he offered. So he kept on offering her different things that he would throw away as he was being asked. But it came to, I guess, duck and herring, oysters, and coho, which she finally accepted. But by then, Gales was very frustrated at the daughter. And he didn't like the way she was so fussy about food. And when Gales gets angry or I get on his wrong side, then you got to be very careful because he'd more or less turn you into something or do something to you. So that's where the origin of the story came, is that the daughter was changed into stone on one side, and the grandfather, the diver, was turned into stone, and they put a rock in his hand and then they made him dive into the water. And that's where the change in waters take place, is where he is holding up the rock at the bottom of the gorge. So the origin of the story was passed along to, I guess, Fort Victoria when Sir James Douglas decided that that was going to be the name. And in 1843, in colonization, it changed to Fort Victoria. So, hi, question.
I want to say a profound thank you to our Elder Skip and Elder Butch. So powerful to hear, and it's important to remember the history of the people of the land. I'm just so moved by the story. Thank you so much. I like what he said. I know my family, and I know where I belong. That hit me because I'm so far away from my family. So I really appreciate that. All right, we have more messages today because we know Camosun is such an integral part of the Vancouver Island community and certainly the South Vancouver Island community, and with far-reaching effects. We're truly beloved by so many. In fact, there are a few people that would like to say a very special happy anniversary and congratulations to Camosun on Camosun's 50th anniversary. Take a look.
Hello, everyone. Bonjour à tous, and happy birthday, Camosun. For 50 years, Camosun College has fostered knowledge and created community for students across Vancouver Island and all of BC. From offering courses to just 980 students in 1971 to providing life-changing programs to 20,000 students today, this school has made a big difference in the lives of so many young people. It's provided first-class career and academic guidance. It's fostered friendships, mentorships, and lifelong connections. And over the years, it's made good on the commitment to build a better future for the community through education. Je sais que vous ne pensiez pas célébrer cette étape importante de cette façon virtuelle. Et je sais aussi que vous avez vécu une année scolaire différente de ce à quoi vous vous attendiez. I understand that for everyone, students, teachers, and support staff, this has been a challenging time. But through it, you've all stepped up. From adapting to online learning methods, to helping in the creation of PPE with the manufacturing of face shields, you've all done your part to keep yourself and others safe. And as we build back better from this pandemic, we're going to need the innovative ideas of education institutions like yours to create a more resilient Canada. So today, let's celebrate all of you for your dedication and determination to education during this challenging time. And let's celebrate 50 years of excellence. Ensemble, on va vaincre la pandémie et aller de l'avant. Merci encore et félicitations. Stay safe and healthy, everyone, and go Chargers.
Hello, Premier John Horgan here, and I want to wish Camosun College a happy 50th birthday. For 5 decades, you have helped open doors for thousands of students. Many Camosun alumni are healthcare heroes, trades and hospitality workers, and community leaders. Now more than ever, our province is relying on people like them to get through this pandemic. Thank you to the faculty and staff for supporting students through these challenging times and for continuing to develop excellence right here at Camosun. We have a reputation in Canada for applied and innovative education that changes lives and gives hope and inspires future generations. I know this will continue for many years to come. Congratulations to Camosun College on this great milestone, 50 years of opening doors of opportunity for British Columbians.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kang, and it's my privilege to be serving British Columbians as a new Minister of Advanced Education and Skills Training. I thank you, Camosun, for sharing our passion in leaving no student behind. I look forward to working with you to reduce barriers and ensure more people are able to access the education and training they need for the jobs of the future. To the faculty and staff of Camosun, you have helped break down barriers for thousands of students, and I am so proud of each and every one of you. Today, your efforts have shaped the careers and lives of the alumni from Camosun. We're seeing them as frontline healthcare heroes, trades professionals, hospitality staff, and community leaders, all who contribute in helping us build BC back better. Once again, congratulations to Camosun College and your incredible students, faculty, and staff. I wish you 50 more years of excellence and success in delivering world-class education.
Tremendous to hear from Prime Minister Trudeau, Premier Horgan, and Minister Kang. All right, now it's time for you guys to do a little work for me. You guys ready? We're going to put up a poll. I want to know some things about you. We're going to do a Zoom poll. It's very fancy. All right, we're going to turn on the questions, and then you have to answer them. The first question is, what decade did you start working or studying at Camosun? Go ahead. Don't be shy. And the second question, do any of these other connections to Camosun apply to you? Ooh, very cool. I'm doing it along with you. And what are you wearing? This is hilarious. What are you wearing right now? That seems a little intimate, but we're going to do it anyway. In a second, we'll have the results and I'll share them with you. It's kind of a fun thing for us to be able to do so that we can connect over the distance, even though we're all sequestered in our homes, on our campuses, in our dorms, et cetera, or in our offices. All right, will we have the results right away? I'm not sure, Clifton. Will we put them up or should I carry on? I think I'll carry on. First of all, we want to say thank you to everybody that's participating. This is a really exciting day for all of us. And I know it's a little strange to be doing it this way. We'd much rather be on campus having some fun in person. We'll get there one day, maybe by our 51st commemoration. I'd like to turn things over now to Sherry and Board Chair Monty Bryant to catch up with the president. Oh, look, wait, here are our results. This is breaking news, people. Most people started working or studying at Camosun in the 2010 and onward. Most people on this line, well, it's a division. 45% once was a Camosun student, and then there's a few people that say none of these apply to me. We welcome you all. And I love this question right here. I like that you guys were dressed for a day of life at Camosun. But mad respect to the 8% of you who are in your PJs. I'm in half PJs, half work attire. But for now, I'll send it back to Sherry and to Monty.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Michaela. I'm not surprised with how many people are dressed on the top and maybe pajamas on the bottom. I have to admit, I don't wear pajamas on the bottom, but lately I've been wearing a lot of pants that don't have zippers and buttons. So anything you can pull out seems to work for me. I want to talk about Conversations Day last year. The theme for Conversations Day last year was resiliency. And a month later, we found out what the meaning of that word was really all about. The pandemic changed our home life, our work life. It impacted all of us. And we've had to adapt, and we have. And this at some point will come to an end, and we'll build back stronger and better. And I know for staff and faculty that are joining us today, one of the things I hear is we just want clarity. What's going to be happening in the fall? How are we going to bring students back on campus? What's the transition going to be like? And I guess what I can tell you is we've heard you and can appreciate that feeling, because I'm feeling the same way. So right now we're working with the provincial government, our ministry, and actually connecting with the provincial health office and the provincial health officer to get a sense of what the vision is for the fall, for post-secondary, and for the province. And so more will come on that as soon as we have some clarity as well. It's been hard. It's been hard on everyone. And my heart goes out to people that have been struggling through this. I have heard stories that kind of break your heart from students and from employees at the college. But I've also heard some incredible stories that reflect the values of Camosun College, stories that talk about relationship building and going above and beyond and just doing things to connect with our community. And some of those you may have heard of. I just heard of one recently where an international student arrived and was in isolation and needed resources and connected with someone who brought her the resources and brought her some treats. The stories of the student hampers that happened in the fall, started with two people at the college with great ideas, and now it's expanded. And the hampers will be delivered again starting in March. But now it's not just a Camosun effort, it's a community effort. The Lieutenant Governor is renovating Government House, and a pantry full of canned goods came to us to include in the hampers. We've donated or we've delivered 150 new laptops to students that needed it, 200 Wi-Fi devices. We've gone virtual with career fairs and information nights, and we raised money to give out over $300,000 in emergency bursaries for our students, helping each other with technology, stories of our fabulous faculty helping each other so that they can get their programming online. Those are the things that's Camosun, that's who we are. 50 years of developing relationships with each other, with students, and deep relationships within the community. And that's who we strive to be in the next 50 years as well. So thank you for all you're doing. And I'm excited to see what the future will hold for us. I'm going to be asking you questions. We're going to be engaged in some thought exchange dialogue for all of 2021 to find out how you're doing. What worked for you? What should we change? What should we keep the same? What should we get rid of? How are we going to build forward together? So more on that to come soon. And now I'd like to pass it over to our wonderful board chair, Monty Bryant, in his brand new Camosun 50th anniversary sweatshirt. Over to you, Monty.
Thank you, Sherry. I'm so pleased to bring anniversary greetings on behalf of the Board of Governors. I know I speak for the entire board when I say that we are so proud to be part of what I consider, I think we all consider, one of the best colleges in all of Canada. I say that because of our grad rates, because of the grades our students obtain, because of our faculty, staff, and administration, because of our facilities, because of our foundation board, who, because they invested wisely, were able to give out $600,000 of student support at the beginning of the pandemic. I say that because of our emphasis on excellence in teaching and applied learning, because of the support we provide our students who have challenges, because of our efforts to support reconciliation and indigenization, because of our research and innovation and partnerships with industry, because of our South Island partnerships. And lastly, and most importantly, you've heard me say this many times, because of the pervasive culture of caring for students. Happy 50th, Camosun. Over to you, Michaela.
I'll toast you with my cranberry juice, Monty. You look fantastic in that gold sweatshirt. That is your color. I'm a little envious. So you heard Sherry say earlier a little bit that I am not only an alumni of Camosun College, but I'm a third generation. That seems kind of crazy, but it's true. I am a very proud third generation. My roots do run deep. My father's mother, who I called my Nana, attended normal school at Camosun in 1937. And then my mother attended Teachers College there. It wasn't called Camosun then either, in 1961. So when I returned from a year abroad as a Rotary Exchange student following my high school graduation, Camosun was a perfect and logical fit for me. I enrolled in the university transfer program, and I know it was the best choice I made. It's interesting, as you age, some of you on the Zoom can relate to this, and some of you won't get a chance to relate to this for a few years. But as you age, when you look back, you can see with more clarity, I think, parts of your life. Looking back now, I can see just how perfect a step my time at Camosun was. I had left a small town in the interior of BC. I'd love a show of hands from any, you can do it by yourself in your own house. How many of you know where 100 Mile House is? That's where I hail from. We can brag and say that we recently, in the last several years, got a stoplight through town. I was the only kid that looked like me in town. I spent a year abroad in Brazil, in a country where everybody looked like me. And for the first time in my life, I found that I didn't feel conspicuous. I didn't feel that I stood out. In fact, I could say that I blended for the first time. So I expected that when I returned to Canada that all that would vanish. But instead, I found myself on a campus filled with all kinds of people. People from all sorts of other small towns, from the island, from the mainland, from northern BC, from other parts of Canada, international students, kids of different races and religions and ethnicities and identities. It was so cool. I didn't feel so foreign anymore. And add on to that, a lot of them, as I mentioned, were from small towns just like me. So as I was trying to figure out who this Michaela was during those years, I guess I was 19 or 20 at the time, in 1999, 2000. Wow, that's a long time ago. As I was trying to figure out who this young woman was, you know, I had experienced a bit of the world and brought in my small town sensibilities. I found out that I was surrounded by a whole bunch of other eager, interested, creative, smart people my age who were trying to figure out the very same thing. And so that place for me to be at Camosun was so paramount to my adulthood. It was my first step into real adulthood. And I will forever be grateful to Camosun for providing that for me. So I thought I would just share a little perspective of my story and what Camosun means to me, meant to me. Here's a funny story. So my better half is from Los Angeles. He's from Inglewood. He's African-American. He's about 6'2". I jokingly tell him, because he's wandering around with a black version of the sweatshirt that Monty was wearing. And I was like, I think you're the only brother running around Los Angeles in a Camosun College 50th anniversary sweatshirt. So you guys can smile at that. I'm not the only alumni with a story. And in fact, we're fortunate enough to be joined by several employees who have their own stories to share about how Camosun helped shape their life. So if we can pop them up on the video, I think we're going to have Al. Look at, there's Al. He showed up. I think we're going to have Charlotte. Oh, there's Christine. Hi, Christine. I think Mary's going to join us. It's like a little version of Hollywood Squares. There's Charlotte. There's my Christine. There's Albert. And I think we have one more. Is that true? And then we'll get started. I think it just takes a second for the computer. How's everybody doing? Thumbs up?
Great, thanks.
Isn't it nice to be able to talk to people without a mask on?
Yes.
I know, it's very cool. So what I thought we would do is go around. We'll start with Al, and then we'll go to Charlotte, then Christine, and then Mary. If you guys will talk a little bit about who you are. You're going to be familiar to a lot of people on the Zoom, but also maybe your connection, your early connection to Camosun.
Okay,
ahead,
well, I guess
Al.
I'll start.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm Al Van Acker, and I'm the chair of the architectural trades department here at the college. And I teach carpentry apprenticeship and foundation classes as well. Been here for just over 20 years, actually.
Just a boy when you arrived.
Talk about how time flies when you're having fun. But anyway, it's been great. And my previous connection to Camosun was here as a student, actually a couple of times. Once in 91 on I call it the let's explore post-secondary education and then take a break path of study. And I know a lot of people who have done that same thing. And anyway, so we tried that out for a bit, and then went back to work to earn some more money, and then ended up actually pursuing a career in commercial construction, which then gave me the second experience as a student here, which as a carpentry apprentice in the mid 90s. And I was very fortunate to be a student of the program that I am now privileged to be chair for.
Check
So
that out.
that was, yeah. So several different connections over the years.
But it's just proof that one thing I believe in, life is never just a straight line, right?
Absolutely.
And sometimes you're not done with things. Sometimes you get to revisit it in a different way, and it can be a whole new experience, right, Al?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, Charlotte, are you still with us? You turned off your camera, but I know you're still there. Can you go
Yes.
ahead and tell us a little bit about you and your connection to Camosun?
Yes, sorry, I got suddenly hit with a coughing fit.
No, are you all right?
Oh, I'm good now.
Okay, good.
So I started working at Camosun last year, late August of 2020. And over the weekend, I did some hunting up of old transcripts and realized that it was August or September of 1980 when I was a student. So I started in, I had 1 year of university transfer, and it was because I couldn't get into UVic when my high school grades weren't strong enough, so I had to do some upgrading. I took an anthropology course where I met another young woman, and we've been lifelong friends. And in that anthropology course, I learned more about Canadian history in one semester than I had learned in my entire grade school. Jane and I became obsessed with Apocalypse Now. Watched it about 5 times and researched the history of the movie in the library in the Young Building. I took an English course where I was introduced to Robertson Davies' Fifth Business, which was about the stories we tell and to make sense of our lives. And that's been a burning interest of mine ever since. So it's really amazing that I come back now to Camosun after all this time.
I love it.
Yeah, 40 years. I just, where did that go?
Isn't that the truth? But I also love thinking back about what our younger selves, what we were studying then, and to think about it now, how interesting it is, especially when we see where we are living and our present interests, et cetera. Charlotte, thank you so much for that.
Yep.
All right, Christine, my girl, tell me about your history with Camosun.
Well, hello, everyone. A lot of people know me. My name is Christine Lavalley. I'm the secretary at Aichsqualwin, which is the Center for Indigenous Education and Community Connections. That always kind of makes me very quiet because I really am quite honored to sit in that space. So very honored, so thankful. I come to you today, I think, from the shared territories of Lekwungen and Wasanich peoples. I'm a visitor here to Lekwungen territory since 2007, and a lifelong resident within Coast Salish territory. Some of you may know I came here to Vancouver, from Vancouver, the downtown east side. Spent the majority of my life there. It wasn't all negative. I acquired some very good traits there that seemingly found appreciation in the people that I've come to work with today. I really hold up our director, Janice Simcoe. I'm very grateful for the work that she has done. Very, very grateful for the support Camosun College has provided to Janice to provide such a welcoming space for Indigenous students. I came here, so I'm the secretary now, and yay, I love my job. I hope to provide every welcome to every person that comes to our office. With that said, with this joy and smiles prior, though, in that position, I was so afraid. I came to Camosun College a year after arriving to Vancouver Island. I was socially marginalized for the majority of my life. I really didn't see too much of a life beyond the community that I lived in. I did travel some, so I knew that where I came from was very unique. And being Indigenous, many of our people are in the downtown east side, and while part of my lived experience does, go into that darker side, both my husband and I survived the dark road of addiction, and We got clean in a way, in a manner of speaking, and I guess without tooting a horn, it's been about 13 years since that part of my life. But and I'm grateful, and I really believe that it is the energies of the Lekwungen people and Wasanish people that have kind of brought me to a place of integrity. And I'm grateful for that. Let me see. So I vowed that I wasn't a high school graduate, like many of many people, Indigenous people, we didn't really fit in well in school. So I left school very early, but I could work. And back then, if you could work, then you could get a job, and education wasn't as important as it is now. And so I did that. And with a grade 8 education, I did okay. I did a lot of trades, did a bit of traveling with that trade, but I still really only had grade 8 education. And I had heard from my mom, may she rest well now, that in my community, as a member of Kakwishta First Nation in Southeast Saskatchewan, that many of us were going to school. Many of us were being provided a path to get grade 12. And that was my aspiration, because I just wanted to be able to talk with even my own family. Much of my lens is quite colored with lived experiences that didn't include family. And I really wanted that. So I came to Camosun College. I spoke with an Indigenous advisor by the name of Suzanne Wilkinson. And she said that I was ready. I didn't believe her. But I went to school. She said I could. And I got my grade 12 in 2009. Aspired to get my English degree because it is the only language that I speak. And while that's not right in the social justice of my lived experience, I really wanted to be good at that. If it was my only language, I was going to be able to speak it properly. So I aspired to get an English degree, but kind of got distracted by a diploma in Indigenous Studies. And I ventured into that, and I learned a lot about myself. And I learned a lot about Canada. And I learned a lot about my people. And it was really difficult to get an associate's degree in English after that.
Yeah, I bet.
I think it took 3.5 years. With every understanding of the English instructors. And I'm so grateful for Camosun in that credential. But with that said, the Indigenous Studies program changed my life. It changed my path. It changed my person. It gave me recognition of my friends, family, colleagues, people who've helped me. So from where I stand right now, I'm probably about only 12 or 13 in a healthy lived experience walk. But I carry a lot of lived experience that doesn't really, that I'm kind of trying to, I don't know, with all the English I have, I don't know how to express the almost yin yang feeling that's inside of me now, because I am English and I'm Indigenous, and it really doesn't reflect who I am more than that. So I'm really grateful for Camosun to have recognized my potential to have supported my effort and to continue welcoming us as Indigenous people here on the college. So sorry for my emotions, but thank you so much, everyone.
Don't you dare say sorry. Don't you dare say,
day.
you don't say sorry. This has been incredibly beautiful. This has been so incredibly beautiful to walk this voyage with you. You know, these institutions, these buildings that have tremendous history, they are more than just brick and mortar and instruction. They are a place of young people seeking and walking into and claiming their identity in whatever shape, Christine. And I have 4 sisters who are Indigenous, and I want to send them your way. I want to send them your way. Yes.
Please do.
With love, my darling. Thank you so much. That was incredible. That was incredible. Mary, you got to follow that up. No stress.
Well, I am just so honored to be part of this wonderful panel and to meet Michaela here on our virtual world. I'm very excited to be here, and I'm a settler ally here in the Wasanich People's Territory, and I just very honored to be here today. My history, it sounds like Michaela and I have crossed paths quite a bit. I'm a 3rd generation. Well, my grandparents both graduated from normal school, the provincial normal school in 22 and 24, I believe, at the Young building. And it's kind of cool. You can see their annuals online. So you should look.
I should do that. Totally.
Yeah, you Google Victoria Normal School and annuals, they're all uploaded. So it's pretty cool. And my mother, after she was busy with 4 little girls, decided to go back to school and went to Camosun in the early 80s and got her business administration and her office administration diplomas. So we spent a lot of time as little girls playing around the Camosun campus there at Lansdowne, rolling down the hills. And I had wanted to be a nurse already by then. So I would always look to see where the nursing students were going. And I'm very excited to be on the campus even as a little girl. And we do our homework with my mom at the library. So my journey at Camosun started when I was about 10. And then when I graduated from high school, I was very excited to get into Camosun College in 1990 for the 2-year Diploma of Arts in Nursing diploma. And so I did that diploma, and it was an amazing journey, and graduated from that and went off and did a little bit of schooling at UVic and UBC and got various other degrees. But I also worked as a nurse in Victoria and Vancouver. And then when I was looking for advanced kind of careers in nursing, I thought I always missed Camosun. And so I came back and luckily was able to get a job here at Camosun. And I've been here for 20 years. So I've celebrated my 20th year of life at Camosun as a student. And I was thinking my 30th year, my 40th year, and this year I'm turning 50.
Welcome to the club.
So yes, I and Camosun were born in 1971. So we've got that in common. And I have to say that Camosun is the most welcoming place. It is right from when I was, a student back in the 80s and early 90s. It was very welcoming, and inclusive, and diversity has always been forefront of Camosun. I'm proud to say that I've been involved in many initiatives with students across Camosun to support Indigenous students in the nursing program, and students as ESL students and students from our Center of Accessible Learning. So yeah, I'm going into my 21st year and as an instructor, and so I've really grown up here. My children all went to the daycare, so I have 3 boys. So they've grown up at Camosun and they loved it. And now my son is a first year at Camosun in the criminal justice program.
Oh, that's awesome. Wonderful.
So, and I've got 2 more boys coming, and they all want to come to Camosun and do university transfer. So
right.
Camosun is amazing, and I'm so proud to be part of this celebration, and I hope to be around as an instructor maybe another 15 years. So I might be here for the 65th. If not, I'll come in my wheelchair and be a specialist on a panel. So thank you so much.
Oh, and Mary, honestly, just letting you know that we so appreciate you helping the nursing students especially in the world they're going out into now. This last year has changed all of our relationship to medicine, to, you know, our own bodies, the spaces that we interact in. And I know nurses who have been so at the forefront of caring for people during the pandemic, they need to have extra resilience. You talk about the theme from last year. So we appreciate you helping fortify those people. I have to give just a big shout out to all of you. Al, Charlotte, Mary, Christine, this has been beautiful. This has been like food for my soul. You nourished me beyond. Thank you so much for being here to share your own stories and how Camosun has been impactful to you as an adult, how it was impactful as a young person, the voyage it took you, the voyage you are, I would argue, are still on. I can't wait to see what comes next for each of you. Thank you so much to you all. The next plan is, folks, we're gonna have a 5-minute break. You can get a beverage, you can use the facilities, you can stretch your legs, a 5-minute break, and we'll be right back here. Actually, we're not going to do that. We're going to exercise because Jamie is here to help us do some exercising and movement. Jamie, take it away.
Oh, thank you, Michaela. I'm so honored to be asked to join you guys today from inside the AET clinic on Interurban campus. My name is Jamie Johnson. I'm a certified athletic therapist and also a proud alumni of Camosun College. So huge thanks to everyone who played such an important role in keeping us open and available to all the Camosun staff through all the last few winter months. So if you haven't already, I want you guys to please stand up. Time to get those bums out of your seats, and we're going to do a little bit of stretching and breathing, and then I'll give you back to Michaela. So first things first, if you haven't, so stand up. You're going to take a nice deep breath in, raise your arms above your head, and then take a nice deep breath out. So with me together, you can extend back a little bit if it's comfortable. Take that breath out and do a forward bend. What you're going to do at this point is you can cradle those hands together, relax the back of your neck, and just sway side to side. We're going to stay here for about 20 more seconds. If you feel like you want to come up again and then go back down, feel free to do so. Okay, and slowly bring your head up. Take a nice deep breath in for me. And then relax. Okay, shake out your hands, shake out your feet. We're going to do one that's kind of similar, but instead of going forward, we're going to go side to side. So nice deep breath in, raise your arms above your head. Relax your breath and go to the side. Now all I want you to do is take a few 2 to 3 deep breaths in and then out again. Nice and slow. Okay, on this next inhale, come up to the center and relax your arms, shake them out. Shake out your feet if you want to. And then we're going to do the same thing again, except we're going to go to the other side. So up together again. Tilt to the side and just breathe for me. Two to three nice, deep, slow breaths. And one more. Okay, come back to the center. Relax your arms again and shake them out. Okay, so what you're gonna need for this next one is either the desk in front of you, a nearby wall, or even a chair. I'm gonna use a chair. If you can see it, maybe I'll tilt it down a notch. There you go. Okay, you're gonna place your hands on the chair itself. You're gonna scoot your bum back and you're going to keep your back of your legs straight and you're gonna do a forward bend. Okay, you're gonna let your whole body fall between your hands, and you should feel stretched nice in the back of your legs, in the back of your hips, and between your shoulder blades. So it's gonna look like this. And then just breathe in this position. Really relax your neck between your hands. And stay here for the 15 seconds. Okay, slowly come back to center. Gonna move that out. Okay, and what I would suggest you do now, if you're someone who hates sitting all day like me, feel free to do a couple quick jumps, just in your spot, move your arms back and forth, check it out, grab that coffee, grab a glass of water, and I'm gonna send you right back to Michaela. Thanks for joining me.
A round of applause and a big thanks to Jamie from the Athletic Exercise and Therapy Clinic at Interurban. Very cool. And it's important to do that. We must always remember to stretch and breathe. Okay, we want to say a big thank you to all of you. Whatever your role is at the college, administration, education, student services, custodian, you're all of you are united through a common goal of supporting our students by providing education and services that result in an amazing college experience. It takes a team, it takes a tribe, and it takes a village. Let's get to our next poll. Are you ready? We've got another one lined up for you, another Zoom poll. 2 hard-hitting questions, people. 2 hard-hitting questions. The first one is, where are you located right now? Mine isn't on here, oddly. The second is your pet with you right now. Sadly, no furry babies here, but I hope you do, because you know a Zoom isn't complete without an animal either walking by or interrupting the Zoom session. Hopefully we'll get those Zoom results in a second. And if they pop up, I'll just read them as we go. As we look forward, because you know this is about celebrating the last 50 years of Camosun's history, but it's also about looking forward. And as we look ahead, it's important that we pass the torch and inspire future generations. To get an idea of how the future is looking, we have invited 3 students to join us virtually. But first, we're going to play video greetings from 3 other alumni. Take a look.
Hello, my name is Adam Olson. I'm the member of the Legislative Assembly for Saanich North and the Islands, and I'm a proud alum of Camosun College. I'm thrilled to be asked to be part of the 50th anniversary celebrations of this important institution in the Greater Victoria community. My studies at Camosun provided an academic foundation in creative writing, British Columbia history, sociology, and philosophy. Added to that, the applied communication program provided the foundation for my career in public service. The skills I learned in video and audio production, web and graphic design, photography, and writing for the news all directly transfer to the social media environment that so many of us politicians use to connect with our constituencies. Every public speech I deliver is built on the confidence ACP gave me. Thank you to everyone who has made Camosun the formidable institution that it is today. I look forward to the next 50 years for Camosun College.
Hi there, I'm Rob Fleming. I'm the Minister of Transportation and Infrastructure for the province of British Columbia, and I'm a proud Camosun College alumni. I want to wish everybody who works, studies, and visits Camosun College a happy 50th birthday. This is a major achievement for this vital institution here on the South Island and for our province. Camosun College is one of the most innovative institutions we have in BC. It's the largest trades training institute here on Vancouver Island. We have the largest business school on Vancouver Island. And I'm so proud that we now have over 1,200 Indigenous students who study at Camosun College. And in this pandemic year, we have much to be thankful about in terms of Camosun's contribution to training so many of our frontline healthcare heroes who are looking after and keeping us all safe in British Columbia as we get through this together. So once again, on behalf of the province of British Columbia, happy 50th birthday, Camosun College.
Happy 50th anniversary, Camosun College. Camosun was a great part of my post-secondary studies and set me up for a fantastic career path. Thank you to all the instructors, coaches, support staff, and everyone else at the college. And best wishes on your continued success during the next 50 years.
Fantastic. Thank you to Rob, Adam, and Aaron. I think we're going to try and pull up the poll results because, again, these are hard-hitting questions that people want to know the answers to. Where are you right now, and is your pet with you? I need to know these answers. Ooh, there we go. Okay, so it looks like most people, isn't this interesting? Victoria and Saanich. Hollywood, California is not on the list. I'm going to have to talk to the organizers of this event. And then, is your pet with you? Most people say no pets here, but there are about 18% of you that are wishing that you had a pet, and I'm kind of with you. During a pandemic, a little furry friend is not such a bad thing. All right, so this is the part where I get all excited because I turn into Auntie Michaela. I already warned the kids that I'm going to do this. We are going to be joined by 3 students virtually. We're all part of the South Island Partnership Program. This program offers dual credits to students while they're still in high school. Oh, here they are. Here's my crew. I'm so excited. Look at you guys look great. You haven't changed since I last saw you. Jaden, Lucas, and Haley. A delight to see you guys again. You guys, but people at home don't realize that we had a chance to meet on our practice Zoom a couple weeks ago. What I thought we would do first is do like a quick, round the horn. I want each of you to introduce yourself. This is practice, right? For the big world out there. Introduce yourself, the school you attend, and your kind of hopes and dreams for your careers down the line. Why don't we start with Jaden?
Hi, so I'm Jaden, and I am currently in my first year at Camosun in the Business Administration program, hoping to go into human resources. At first, I wasn't sure if this is what I wanted to do. I changed my mind a million times before I landed here, but my professors have all been super supportive. I'm loving my courses, so I think that this is what I'm going to stick with.
I love it. That's exciting and not that different from a lot of us, Jaden. Don't feel badly. Lucas, fire away.
Hi, I'm Lucas Dick. I'm from Songhees Nation, and I am taking my first year of refrigeration and AC foundations.
Excellent. And so you want to be an owner operator at some point?
Hopefully.
Okay, I like where you're going with that, Lucas. Next up, Haley. Hi, Haley.
Hello, I'm Haley. I'm in my first year of nursing at Camosun. I went to Mount Douglas Secondary School, and yeah, I'm a bit of an older SIP student because it was about 2 years ago now.
That's, it's all relative, right?
Yeah.
It depends. 2 years seems like a long time ago, and it makes you probably feel like you're in a different space than some of the other kids.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask each of you, and I'll start with Lucas first. Oftentimes we have this idea of what college and university in those years are going to be like, right? The expectations don't always line up with reality. Have they, or how has it been different for you, Lucas?
There's a lot more shop work than I thought there would be. Originally, I thought it would be mainly, I guess, online now, but like in class and learning about what things are. But I'm happy that we have a lot of shop hours and get to learn with our hands and with experience.
Hands-on stuff is great. And that stuff sticks with you too. Sometimes the stuff in your head goes out faster that your body remembers, it seems. How about you, Haley? How about you, Haley, in terms of nursing? There's probably a level of expectation you had going into it. Has it lined up with reality?
Yeah, I was in the Mount Doug Secondary Challenge program. So I feel like I was always surrounded by students with a passion in their schoolwork, and was very pleasantly surprised that nursing, I'm just surrounded by everyone who is, we're all nerds in our profession, and I feel like I can really just embrace being so interested in my schoolwork. So my expectation was confirmed.
I love it. How about you, Jaden? Have your expectations been confirmed?
Well, I wasn't really knowing what to expect because I hadn't decided what I wanted to do yet. But online was definitely not what I was expecting. I was expecting it, not gonna lie, I was expecting it to suck, but it has been actually really good. I still make connections with students and professors, and everybody's super supportive, so it's been really good.
I love that. I love hearing the support aspect, because the fact is, and for anybody that's listening at home, I really want to underscore what Jaden was really vulnerable in saying, is that she didn't know and she changed her mind. That was my experience. I heard that repeated anecdotally from a lot of people I've heard from. You're supposed to be seeking, and it's okay to have questions and not necessarily know. So Jaden, way to go, speaking your truth. Haley, I alluded to this before. We're in a pandemic year, and we're still waiting for all of our folks to get vaccinated. We're waiting to put this darn thing behind us. We know that we are expecting a whole lot of our frontline workers, of which you will be one. You're going into a world that is going to look at nursing a lot differently than it has in the past. Has the pandemic changed how you feel? And do you feel that you're being supported in that way in the nursing program for this sort of new reality you're heading into?
Yeah, that's actually very interesting, because I've been thinking about this a lot. So I did the healthcare assistant program through the South Island Partnership dual credit.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually finished my program about 4 months before COVID really hit Canada.
Oh, interesting.
So I had my first year really working in healthcare, mostly full-time during COVID.
Mm.
And as a 19-year-old, I found the whole experience just so cool. I mean, I really have been a frontline worker, and being there as an employee and an HCA, but also one of the main social supports for the residents, has just been so heartwarming and really reminded me why I've always wanted to be a nurse.
Wow, how fulfilling.
So, very
and to find that purpose at this point in your life, that's a win. Lucas, it's interesting because it's not that different. It is different, but it isn't in a way for you. You are stepping into an economy and a world that is very different than it was even just a year or two ago, right? And I'm sure you're kind of aware of that. Has it changed, or has it sort of fortified your goals?
It has changed a couple things. Originally, I was planning on moving up to Smithers in BC, but I have recently changed that and tried to find an apprenticeship down here on the island.
Do you think that it's going to change over time, or you'll just going to sort of see how things go 1 year to the next?
I'm just going to see how things go and wing it.
Yeah, winging it is always good. Jaden, looking ahead for the next year for you, what does it look like from where you sit today in February?
Well, I'm crossing my fingers that we'll be able to go back to school, but really I'm just going to be focusing on school, trying to get through my degree right now. I'm on track, just keeping my grades up and hopefully good. And I'm hoping to get more involved with student life and student society on campus.
Right, because that's one of the things that you probably all have been experiencing because of the pandemic. All that social distancing doesn't allow you to do as much. Jaden, what would you say has been the hardest part of this distance learning for college, especially?
Honestly, it's the connections, because I was expecting everybody in the movies and everything like that. When you go to college, you meet so many new people, lifelong friends, everything like that. And it looks a lot different now.
Yeah.
I am still making connections for sure, but it's different because I've never actually met these people in real life. We just talk over D2L or over Snapchat and social media and things like that. So it's definitely been different, but I am looking forward to that for the future for sure.
We know the importance of connection, Lucas. It's important to what we as humans, even if you're not a super social person, like my better half isn't a really social guy, I can see in him how much this lack of connectivity with one another, the interaction has done. How are you managing to bridge that gap in the world? Are you actually able to go into the shop with other students, or are you having to do things somewhat remotely?
Well, right now we have a class of 16 students, and we're split up into two groups of 8, and we go in different times on different days. So roughly about 3 times a week, I get to go into shop with 7 other students and do my work and kind of social distance from them, but it's nice to be able to see people in person and learn in person.
It makes a big difference, doesn't it? And Haley, I'm
Yeah,
sure for
it
you
does.
as well, you know, nursing is a lot about the science and a lot about the healthcare, but it's a lot about the people.
Totally. Socialization is the number one thing I do in my job. So
Right.
having that taken away or sort of moved to online for nursing school is interesting, but we're making
Interesting
it
as a word.
work. I just think it's funny. The other day I saw my classmates in person, some of them for the first time, and I'm like, you're 2 feet shorter than I thought you would be. Like, everybody looks so different in person.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm slowly getting there.
I'm curious what you would say to your, I don't know, grade 10 self, Jaden, now that you have gone through this last while. What would you go back and tell her?
Probably to stay positive. I was feeling very overwhelmed, not knowing what was going to happen. And even with COVID and everything like that, I didn't know what to do. And I thought it was wrong and that it was weird to not know what to do in this situation. But if I could just say, take a deep breath, calm down, everything's going to be okay. That's probably the main thing that I would say.
I like that. How about you, Haley? If you could travel back in a time machine and tell a younger version of yourself things that you now know, what would you tell?
Well, I would tell this to every version of myself. Stop doubting yourself. I feel like at Camosun, the moment I have the confidence to push and try for something new, I have so much support and I'm able to achieve what I want. And really my plan from grade 10 still followed through and I still made it into nursing school. So for any younger person, if they're watching this or anyone, really just believing in yourself and just do it because you got one life to live. Just got to go for it.
I love Haley, your energy is infectious. All right, Lucas, how about you? If you could travel back in a time machine, what would you tell younger Lucas?
I would tell him to work harder and stop being so lazy and actually do your homework. Would help a lot.
Real talk, Lucas. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Now, for all of you, you know, today has really been looking back, right, at the 50 years and celebrating 50 years of Camosun. First of all, I want to know from each of you something that you really got out of today. What has been significant and touched you? That's one thing. And then also, I don't know, maybe just something that you wish other people would know about this experience that you're having. Jaden, why don't you start?
One thing that I noticed that every single person has said is that they love how open and supportive Camosun has been to them, either in the past, in the future, right now. Everybody knows that Camosun is a very open and welcoming place. And I, of course, knew that from personal experience, but hearing other people's stories, knowing that they feel the exact same way has been very eye-opening to me. And I hope that other people watching this or people who attend the school know that they do have the support systems that they need and that everybody here is willing to lend a hand and like be that support for you.
That's wonderful. How about you, Lucas?
I'm happy to learn how accepting and nice it is with First Nation culture here at Camosun. And I'd like for people to know that no matter what age you are, you will be going into a class and nobody will treat you differently because of it.
Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? Whew. All right, Haley, bring us home.
I really just love seeing everyone today feeling so proud and confident in their own personal journeys. I know myself, sometimes that becomes a little foggy and I forget how much work I've actually put into my education. So I'm very proud of all of you, even if I haven't met you. Just doing what you need to do for yourself in your education. And I hope that future and current students understand that Camosun has so many support systems and so many places for you to go to feel like protected and safe and able to flourish in your education. So I feel very thankful.
I love that. And by the way, once a part of Camosun, always a part of Camosun. They found me after all these years. I don't know how they did that. I gave them the shake. I swear I did. I want to say a big, warm thank you and a virtual hug to Jaden, Lucas, and Haley. You three are just bright, shining stars, and I can't wait to see where life takes you. Keep us posted on the developments and the successes, and lean on us in the hard times, right? That's what a community is for. You've got this community around you to support you. So a round of applause, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. As we say goodbye to the students, we want to, before we wrap things up, I'd like to share a video from a couple of truly special people. Please, if we could cue up that final video from former college president Lloyd Morin and Liz Ashton.
Happy birthday, Camosun. 50 years, but showing no signs of aging. Rather, you're continuing to blossom and thrive like a vigorous youth. Camosun's made a significant contribution in my family. All 4 of our kids developed their own careers based on their Camosun studies in office administration, music, applied communications, early childhood education, university transfer. I can only imagine how many other individuals and families have been impacted by Camosun over half a century, and how many continue to benefit in life-changing ways. 50 years ago, we were pretty excited by the prospects of this new college, but honestly, we had no awareness of what Camosun could become. Since I left the college in 1989, innovative administrators, faculty, and staff have led through a steady evolution of new facilities, programs, and services. And I can only say congratulations and thank you, and keep it up.
Hello, Camosun College. What a pleasure it is to be with you again and to be able to wish you a happy golden anniversary. The 15 years I spent as president of Camosun College are the pinnacle of my career. For 50 years, Camosun has helped thousands upon thousands of students reach their educational and career goals. There have been challenges, and none bigger than 2020. Who would have thought a year ago that such would happen? But the colleges have continued to deliver to its students. It is the who that has made the college the exceptional institution that it is. The faculty, staff, administrators, board members, donors, community partners, and the thousands upon thousands of students that have chosen to study at the college. You are the heart of the institution. As you move on to the next 50 years of your history, keep up the great work. Your work is a contribution to our community and to society as a whole. Happy 50th anniversary.
Liz and Lloyd, that was incredible. And it just kind of gives you a little bit of, I don't know, I got goosebumps. Just,
yeah, me too.
Right, Sherry? I'm sure. It just feels like the legacy that, by the way, that you continue. It's truly remarkable. I just have to say, I am so moved to have been asked to do this, Sherry, and to all of you that are watching today. This has been tremendous. I think that in this last year, we've been challenged and tested so much, and connection has been so difficult to find and to continue. But the fact that this connection, after all of those years, still exists is so beautiful to me. I feel a part of a community even from a far distance, but it just really is super beautiful. And I salute all of you. If you are a student, you're a former student, you're somebody that's part of the education of this next generation of people. If you're there as support staff in whatever measure, thank you for the work you're doing. Thank you for being part of the future of Camosun. Thank you so much for being here. And I have to give a shout out. If you'd like to get some merch, we've got incredible merch, such as this one.
We do.
In fact, I had a guy stop me on the street because I was wearing this. He's like, oh my goodness, that's beautiful artwork. We had a nice chat. You can get this. You can purchase items either at the Interurban store or online. And all employees, don't forget, you get that beautiful 20% discount. That makes a big difference. So make sure you get one of these so you can rock it in yellow, black. I guess there's other colors. Thank you for having me, Sherry. Thank you to all of you. It's been a delight.
Oh, Michaela, how do we thank you? You've done such a wonderful job of getting people to talk about their experience at this, and it is a pretty special place. I usually get choked up, and so this won't be any different than other times, but it was wonderful hearing, a huge thank you to our staff and faculty that were on the panel. And we have our vision statement is inspiring life-changing learning. And to some that might just be a cliche, but it isn't. What you heard today was inspiring life-changing learning. People that have gone to school here or are going to school here have been inspired by each other, by their instructors, by the people that work here. And I just want to thank the panelists that came out. A huge thank you to the students. You were amazing, as always. And, we're going to open up the chat for people that are watching today to give their love and thanks to the committee that put this together, and an incredible group from IT and everyone that took part in today. And a huge thank you to Michaela. I want to close by just saying, connecting to what our students were saying, because I was pretty excited to hear that even if you're 100% online, people were still finding ways to connect with one another. They talked about the college being open, supportive. They talked about being treated properly, being treated equally. And they also talked about the pride that they felt, and the pride that they felt listening to people that work here as well as people that learn here. And, I can say that's something I feel every single day in coming to work or working from home. One of the things that I miss so much during the pandemic is to be able to talk about what we do to community members. I've tried to do it a bit virtually, but it's not the same. So thank you for joining us today. Michaela, if I'm ever in California, we're going for a glass of wine. It has been such a pleasure having you be part of this day. You've just made it really special for all of us. So a kind of a different conversations day, but nonetheless, happy 50th, everyone. Thank you.